Government urged to be creative in helping people face economic uncertainty. 11 killed as fire tears through old people's home in Japan. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2. I'm Adrian Seat. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Muhammad V is confident that the government will come up with new and innovative ways to help the people face the uncertain global economy. His Majesty was also delighted with the cooperation given by the private sector and NGOs to realize the development plans for the people.
Today, the King reminded the people of the importance of unity amongst Malaysians and hoped that it would be strengthened.
Bagi negara Malaysia yang menyasar untuk menjadi antara negara teratas di tangga dunia dalam ekonomi, kesejahteraan rakyat dan inovasi sosial melalui transformasi nasional 2050. Faktor persefahaman dan perpaduan di kalangan rakyat berbilang kaum, budaya dan agama hendaklah dipupuk secukupnya demi kejayaan negara.
His Majesty also reminded civil servants to prioritize integrity in carrying out their duties so that all government plans and policies can be implemented with immediate effect. His Majesty also hoped that the excellence of the Federal Territories Administration could be continued as it has set a model for Malaysia in general.
Meanwhile, a total of 370 people were conferred awards and medals at the investiture ceremony at Istana Negara, graced by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and Federal Territories Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Anan Tengku Mansor were also present at the event.
Employees Provident Fund Chairman Tan Sri Samsudin Osman was the sole recipient of the Sri Utama Mahkota Wilayah Award, which carries the title Datuk Sri Utama. 22 people receive the Sri Mahkota Wilayah Award that carries the title Datuk Sri, while 69 received the Panglima Mahkota Wilayah Award that carries the title Datuk. 39 people were awarded the Johan Mahkota Wilayah, 71 the Kesatria Mahkota Wilayah, 74 the Ahli Mahkota Wilayah, and 94 the Pingat Pangkuan Mahkota Wilayah.
In conjunction with Federal Territories Day today, we take a look at the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur. Now, aside from being the nation's capital city and economic hub, Kuala Lumpur has become an important tourist destination when it made it to the Global Travellers list of top 10 cities to visit in Asia. It also ranks second as the most livable city in Southeast Asia. Take a look.
Maka Kuala Lumpur telah memainkan peranan yang penting untuk memastikan bahawa Malaysia ini menjadi tempat ataupun Malaysia ini menjadi satu tempat yang akan dilawati oleh pelancong. Itulah sebab Kuala Lumpur telah diiktiraf salah satu daripada 10 kota yang mesti dilawati oleh pelancong.
The setting up of the Federal Territories Ministry 14 years ago has contributed significantly towards the physical development of the city, including the public transport ecosystem aimed to reduce traffic congestion in the city. The Federal Territories Affordable Housing Scheme has also developed 3,662 houses for low-income city dwellers, with 55,000 more to be completed this year. The River of Life project and the KL River City are also significant sustainable development projects aimed at improving the city's water management.
25,000 experts, academics and government representatives will converge in the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre or KLCC and Medan Pasar or Market Square in Kuala Lumpur for the 9th World Urban Forum 9 or WUF9 between February the 7th to the 13th to exchange ideas and experiences to help create better cities.
We have exhibitions by Think City as well as talks, events, all together involving about 10 over partners coming to talk about what the city needs, what should we do in the future as citizens in the city, how can we make the city better.
According to Lee Jiaping, the highlight of the forum will be the WUF9 village, which will be located at Medan Pasar or Market Square, to exhibit ideas and innovation that can help in creating better cities, complete with 2 full-scale micro houses to illustrate the concept of communal living.
Medan Pasar, you will see this place transformed. It will have these 2 buildings behind me, which is the communal houses. We will also have an urban wetland. And the urban wetland is actually to have a green feeling towards this whole village, because if you can see, it's a bit panas, it's a bit hot. So what we want to do is want to cool it down and demonstrate that by using green technology or green planting and also the use of water, we can actually lower the temperature in the city.
WUF is a biennial non-legislative forum convened by the United Nations Human Settlements Programme, or UN Habitat, since 2002.
Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Saleh Syed Kerawak reminded Malaysians that they are enjoying economic growth and freedom to express themselves because of the transformative and multiculturalist leadership of Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak. Now, commenting in his blog sskerawak.blogspot.my today, Datuk Seri Dr. Saleh said that Datuk Seri Najib's democratic and people-centric multiculturalist transformational leadership has enabled him to implement many reforms to the system.
Datuk Seri Dr. Saleh added that the Prime Minister has successfully led the BN government, making Malaysia more democratic, upholding the people's sovereignty, distributing economic opportunities equally, establishing a welfare administration and implementing moderate Islamic rule. History has shown that many world leaders have tried and failed to implement changes, such as when former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev as well as former Indonesian President B.J. Habibie. This shows that to be a transformative leader, it is not easy, especially when the changes involve a multicultural society.
The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission's application for a new remand order on 2 people held over the Sabah Railway graft probe involving railway projects worth about 56 million ringgit has been rejected. An application to have them remanded for 5 days was rejected by Magistrate Stephanie Sharon Abi today.
The 2 suspects, represented by lawyers Suguma Balakrishnan and Edward Paul, were released on bail yesterday but re-arrested the same day over a new case. The application for the new remand order was made by MACC Prosecuting Officer Muhammad Falik Basiruddin. To date, the MACC has arrested 7 people, 5 of whom are Railway Department employees, while the other 2 are contractors to facilitate investigations into suspected graft in the state railway project since 2011. The MACC also reported that they had seized some 1.6 million ringgit in cash and frozen 5.3 million ringgit in accounts in several banks in connection with the case.
A police inspector has pleaded not guilty at the Kuala Terengganu Sessions Court today to a charge of accepting a 3,000 ringgit bribe as an inducement to reduce the charges on a drug offender under his investigation.
The accused, Lee Beng-Ui, 37, from the Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department at Kemaman Police Headquarters, was charged under Section 17, Subsection A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009 before Judge Muhammad Halda Abdul Aziz. Lee was alleged to have received 3,000 ringgit from a policeman, Corporal Aziz Abdullah, who was representing the father of the drug offender Asmadi Ali in front of a house at Blok E Zora Perumahan Polis, Bukit Mentok, Kemaman on February the 29th of 2016 at 11:45 p.m. The drug suspect was detained under Section 12, Subsection 2 of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 for possession of drugs and Section 15, Subsection 1 of the same Act for consumption of drugs following a positive urine test. Now, the bribe was to let Firdaus escape the possession offence, which carries a heavier penalty. Judge Muhammad Halda has fixed February the 21st for case re-mention and a bail of 10,000 ringgit.
A woman pleaded not guilty in the Sessions Court in Aikoro, Malacca to abusing her 5-year-old son 9 years ago. The 40-year-old mother, who was arrested yesterday, is alleged to have caned the boy, the second of 4 siblings, in the face and body, resulting in bruises in the head, eyes and body at a shop house at about 2 p.m. on April 21st in 2009.
The accused, Pham Yen Ping, 40, who works as a masseuse, was charged under Section 31, Subsection 1, Subsection A of the Child Act 2001, which provides for a 20,000 ringgit maximum fine or a jail term of up to 10 years or both if found guilty. Judge Mir Sulaiman Ahmad Tarmizi allowed the woman to be released on bail of 10,000 ringgit in one surety and set March the 1st for case remention. Deputy Public Prosecutor Siti Ruvina Muhammad Rawi appeared for the prosecution, while the accused was represented by Nathan Renganathan Abdullah.
A young man was charged at the Aikuro Sessions Court today on 3 counts of committing rape against an underage girl a year ago. The accused, Muhammad Dol Fadir Fauzi, 24, however, pleaded not guilty to all 3 charges once the charge sheet was read before Judge Mir Sulaiman Ahmad Tarmizi.
According to the 3 charges, the accused was charged for raping the 14-year-old girl at a house in Kampung Tersusun, Jalan Tanjung Rambai, Parit Penghulu, Sungai Rambai in Jasin. All the offences were committed around 11:30 p.m. to midnight between early February to June of 2017. The accused was charged under Section 376 of the Penal Code. Upon conviction, he can face jail time of up to 20 years and whipping. The accused, who was unrepresented, remained silent throughout the proceedings. The court set March the 1st for the case remention.
A couple's drug-making business in Perak came to an end when the long arm of the law came a-calling on January the 24th. Speaking in a press conference at his office in Batu Gajah, Perak today, Batu Gajah OCPD ACP Ahmad Tarmizi Sha'ari said apparently the male suspect, a local age 47, and the woman, a 32-year-old Vietnamese national, were supplying drugs in the Batu Gajah area for around 4 months.
According to ACP Ahmad Tarmizi, police raided their home at 2:45 p.m. on that day and also seized 27 grams of heroin, 1.12 grams of ketamine, 24.2 grams of caffeine powder, and 500 millimeters of chloroform, as well as impounding an Audi TT car valued at 100,000 ringgit.
Apabila kita jumpa chloroform, kemungkinan ada alat. Kan? Kemungkinan. Jadi, sekarang ni kita tengah siasat. Ya? So, pasal apa? Ni pengedar ataupun ni, dia orang ni very licik. Ya? Dia bukannya bila you tangkap, semua ada barang. Tidak. Jadi ada kemungkinan, bila you dapat barang ni, dia hanya sebagai runner untuk serah barang pada orang lain.
The duo are being remanded for 14 days and the case is now being investigated under Section 39B, Subsection 1, Subsection A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952.
The police have advised the public to refrain from posting false information that could only cause confusion. Now, this follows the recent incident where an image of a police car bearing Chinese emblems was uploaded on a social media page and alleging that the Home Ministry had allowed foreign enforcement agencies into the country.
In a statement, Bukit Aman Head of Corporate Communications, Dato' Asmawati Ahmad, clarified that the news was false and that the 2 cars shown in the image were props for an upcoming Chinese movie that were being filmed in Putrajaya. She stressed that the page that had posted the image clearly intended to raise a negative perception towards government agencies. The page had also used the name of a former Malaysian leader, which was believed to have been done to promote their personal agenda. Dato' Asmawati said the public must verify any information before posting it on social media to avoid any unrest amongst the community.
Sepang Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Baharudin Mataib has been promoted to Assistant Commissioner of Police or ACP and began duty as the new Shah Alam Chief of Police today. He takes over from Assistant Commissioner Shafian Mahmad, who has promoted to the Senior Assistant Commissioner post of Police and is now Bukit Aman JIP's Religious and Counselling Principal Assistant Director. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Mazlan Mansor said he hoped that the new leadership would continue to serve the residents of Shah Alam and retain the people's trust in the police. This is because Shah Alam has been categorized as a white zone or safe city. Last year, the crime index in Shah Alam dropped by 15.4%, with a total of 1,610 cases compared to 1,905 the previous year.
Kita bukan saja melihat kepada penurunan jenayah, tetapi persepsi masyarakat ke atas jenayah bagaimana masyarakat melihat kita dalam delivery service, perkhidmatan dan sebagainya. Ini yang satu pendekatan yang kita sedang memperkemaskan lagi. Dan kita juga menerimalah siapa-siapa yang tidak berpuas hati dengan perkhidmatan itu, sentiasa menulis surat kepada saya dan juga OSPD. Dan ini yang kita nak kekalkan, ya.
Datuk Mazlan said this at the handing over ceremony which was held at the Shah Alam District Police Headquarters today. About 40% of secondary school students in Negeri Sembilan were found to have no B2 motorcycle license. State Road Transport Department or RTD Director Azrin Borhan said that the lack of awareness on the importance of having a driving license was identified to be amongst the main cause. Now, to counter this lack of awareness, Azrin suggested for these youngsters to enroll in a My Lesen program, an initiative that targets Malaysians aged 16 and above to obtain the B2 motorcycle riding license.
Sepanjang Sabtu dan Ahad dan mereka ini akan dilatih oleh pegawai daripada PJ Negeri Sembilan dan pegawai daripada Institut Memandulah.
He said this after launching the Negeri Sembilan level RTD Cadet My Lesen program at SMK Seremban Jaya today. The My Lesen program is a mechanism of going to the ground in line with the concept of people-centric and centered civil service launched by the Transport Minister on September the 15th in 2015. The program is a collaboration between RTD and driving institutes in assisting the people, especially school students, to obtain the B2 license at a discounted rate of 299 ringgit compared to the regular rate of 360 ringgit. Coming up, a proposed tribunal will allow rice farmers to voice grouses. Stay with us. That story in a moment. You're watching News on 2. News continues. Giat Mara has added 2 new courses in their training centres to meet the demands for high-speed rail services and aerospace composite manufacturing technology. Rural and Regional Development Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said that the new courses were created last year to suit current demands in line with the country's vision to become a developed nation.
Speaking at the opening of the new Giat Mara building in Yan Kedah today, Datuk Sri Ismail said the Railway Technology course was in line with the government's East Coast Rail Line project.
Sebab itulah kita untuk persediaan industri rail ni kita wujudkan kos yang baru iaitu yang melibatkan rail. Antaranya misalnya welding, railway track misalnya. Itu juga kita buat di Giat Mara. Dari segi aerospace, terlibat dengan fiberglass untuk pesawat dan sebagainya.
Currently, 60 students are doing the Railway Technology course at 3 Giat Mara centres, namely in Tumpat, Kelantan, Kemaman, Terengganu and Paya Besar in Pahang. Meanwhile, 40 students have enrolled for the Aerospace Composite Manufacturing Technology course, which is conducted in Giat Mara Centre in Simpang Empat, Melaka.
Now, the establishment of the Paddy Farmers Tribunal, if it materializes, will help farmers from becoming victims of agricultural-related issues such as the high deduction rate imposed by rice mills. Now, according to Muda Agricultural Development Authority, or MADA chairman Dato' Othman Aziz, the tribunal, which would function as an independent body, will have its own set of standard operating procedures for farmers to voice out their grievances.
Speaking in Air Hitam Kedah today, Dato' Othman said if the tribunal is set up, farmers can request compensation from rice mills and suppliers if their complaints are true and backed by facts. The tribunal could also be used to solve various other problems, such as those pertaining to farmers receiving invalid rice seeds, delays in obtaining fertilizers, as well as the quality of agricultural input supplied to them. He was commenting on Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry Minister Dato' Sri Ahmad Shabri Chick's recent statement, saying that the ministry was considering the setting up of a tribunal for paddy farmers whose incomes were affected due to high deduction rates by rice mills.
And that item concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, government urged to be more creative in helping people face economic uncertainty. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more updates. I'm Adrian Seed. Stay tuned to TV2. Good night. Tamil Bulletin up next.